We are using the fresh fruit from the garden, from the orchard to make desserts now with Janine Washle from Cloverfield's Farm and Kitchen. I'm a Southern girl and I love cobbler. And we are making fresh peach cobbler. I can't wait.
And what makes this old-fashioned cobbler different from maybe what we make in the fall with our apples and our pears and that sort of thing is that instead of using that heavy biscuit dough type of, that batter type of, cobbler filling, we're using pastry, and essentially it's a pie pastry. So I'm going to walk you through that, and then you'll see how light the filling is. It just sings with peach flavor, and then you've got a little bit of crunch and a little bit of texture from the pastry, and then you've got a delicious almond scented filling.
I can tell you from looking at this little plate compared to the blackberry cobbler I made last week that this is going to be a lot lighter. I had a lot more butter in mine.
Oh my goodness. Okay. And I also want to say that if you're a vegetarian or you just choose not to eat butter, this can very easily be substituted with coconut oil.
Okay.
So the 2 tablespoons of butter can be 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. So I made my pie crust and I've just pressed it into a pan, and today we're going to make half of a recipe.
Okay.
So this is half recipe, this is a whole recipe. So you divide the pastry into thirds. The 1/3 you put into your pan, the 2nd third you bake off, you cut it into strips and bake it off in the oven.
Okay.
So that's an interesting technique. And then the 3rd one, you make the little circles to resemble biscuits and just toss away the excess.
Okay.
And now you're going to make the filling for us. We've got our 4 cups of chopped peaches. The full recipe would be 8.
Left the skin on.
Left the skin on, because I know these are organic. If your fruits are not organic, you'll want to peel them. Even if you wash them, you'll want to peel them. So then we're going to add a little bit of flour. This can easily be cornstarch if you have a wheat allergy.
It's going to thicken everything up.
Exactly. And then this is our sugar. If the peaches are super sweet, you would not add all of that sugar, but if they're maybe
or something else.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. And then here's your water.
Okay.
And that's just plain old tap water. If the peaches are super juicy, you might only use half of that.
Okay, just kind of eyeball it.
Yes. And then almond is a perfect complement to stone fruits, peaches, cherries, apricots, that sort of thing. So just put a few drops of our almond extract in there. If you don't like the flavor of almond, you can easily use vanilla.
Okay.
So then we just stir all of that up together. So it's super simple. And we stir all of that together just to get everything coated. And that actually looks great. So
it's going to be a little watery, and that's okay.
But that's okay, because in the oven it's going to bake for an hour. So in the oven, the flour is going to thicken everything up.
Gotcha.
So you go ahead and just scoop about half of that into our pastry. Perfect. And then we'll spread that out, and we'll just
smell the almond. That smells wonderful.
Good.
Okay.
And then we'll put half of our butter down, and then what you do is you take the pastry strips and you just scatter them over. Now, of course, I'm just crazy this way. I have to put them in little lines and that sort of thing. But
I might not let you do it. I'll back off on the pastry strips.
It's perfectly fine just to scatter them. It's fine. And then you top it
with the rest of this. Okay.
And it'll come up. And you don't ever want to use a dish that's too small when you make a cobbler, because the cobbler will actually bubble up. And so we definitely, so then we would spread it out perfectly like that. Take our circles like this, and we would just top it with our rounds of pastry. And then I've got one over here already prepared.
I'll be honest, cutting these circles too is a whole lot easier than cutting the long strips and making the lattice and all that some folks do.
Technically, the definition of cobbler is that it's supposed to look like a cobblestone street.
Okay.
So we've got that. And then I'll take this spoon, it's clean, and then you can scoop it out like this, and you can see that it's perfect. It's thick and juicy, and just perfect with a scoop of ice cream.
It'll be perfectly gone in a few minutes. Some other recipes Janine will share with you: peach bread and also a berry crisp. Just a few more ideas of what to do with the garden fruits.
Exactly.
Thank you so much,
You're
Janine.
welcome.
We appreciate it. We'll have a link on our website, wdrb.com.